What's up guys, Status Yu-Gi-Oh here. So, wait, another Banlist Prediction? Yep, another Banlist Prediction, because I made one in the past for the upcoming banlist, but I think things changed and there needs to be some changes to my list. That's why I'm making a new video on this topic. So, it's honestly pretty simple. There's a few problematic cards in the game at the moment, the meta has evolved to showcase that, and in general my opinion on some things have changed, with sets being revealed and stuff. So anyways, let's dig into it. I'll first be talking about some linkables that needs to be banned, with the first one being Crystal Hulky Fibrax, commonly also called Crystal Needle Fiber despite being out for a while already. Seriously guys, move on. It's the TCG name, get used to it. Anyways, it's a very strong and honestly broken Link 2 that can summon any level to your lower tuner from your deck. Ignoring the effect, but you know that doesn't really matter, because you just send it to the grave and then it has a grave effect. It's a very problematic card in combination with other cards like Jet Synchron, which we've seen plenty of, Plague Spreader Zombie in the future, hello Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, and other abusive cards. Now, there's one consistent factor in all these combos that I've noticed, which is not Jet Synchron, and that's Crystal Hulky Fibrax. Now, people will argue that Konami is still moving the new set, they don't want to, you know, hit Hulky Fibrax just yet. But TCG Konami definitely knew what they were doing when they delayed the release of this card, and even they should know how bad this card is for the game. Alternatively, they will just butcher all synchros, I mean they already are doing that anyway, and all good tuners, or they will just hit this card. I just hope they get it over with, hit Hulky Fibrax, and then start giving synchros back some power that they deserve, because holy shit, this card is problematic for the game. The other link I want to see banned, and I think Konami will be hitting, is Onion Carrier. Onion Carrier, it's just ridiculous. Like, it has too many interactions that just don't make sense. One could argue that the Buster Whelp is the issue, the Buster Blader card. However, that card is a confirmed reprint in a future set. So I don't think that will be happening. I mean, banning a card and then reprinting it would be a weird move. And again, it's Konami, not the first time probably. But still. Union Carrier is a very problematic card, just being able to equip one card from your deck to a card you control, leading to some interaction that should not happen, block dragon interactions, and once again the Buster Dragon that locks you from the extra deck. They can't even Dark Ruler no more. Bit too problematic if you ask me. So I wouldn't be surprised if they hit this. Konami should know that it's bad for the game, they already made some money on it. But the set needs to sell. There's a Predaplant link in there that will sell very well after the Megatins if a certain fusion gets released. So that should not be an issue. It just means the value of the set shifts. Happened before, should not be a big issue for Konami. I think they will ban one synchro, Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. But Trishula didn't do anything last format. Well, neither it or Hyperdrive did anything when they got limited. And Konami likes to randomly hit synchro decks for no good reason at all. That's why I'm thinking Trishula takes the fall. Another argument, well theoretically it can loop. Konami makes the weirdest of hits at all times, so I'm calling this as the random synchro hit, Trishula banned. Because there always has to be some kind of punishment towards fun synchro decks. There are two more bans remaining, one is A Hero Lives, there are done selling heroes. A Hero Lives on its own leads to some very funky weird combos. And once again, Konami is just done selling heroes, so they're like, yeah, we're done selling the deck. Now there's no need for us to sell product, so we're hitting the deck. Would be a very Konami thing to do. I wouldn't be surprised, so that's why I'm predicting A Hero Lives to be banned. Wait, but you're saying it's not a problematic deck at all? Nope, that's the Konami special. And the final ban I could see happen is Mind Control, very unhealthy card in the meta. Many competitive players want to see this card go, and I think Konami agrees. They're like, yeah, this card's problematic. Let's just get it out of here. So, limits. 4 cards total. First off, one card I think will return is Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. The card has been banned recently, but Konami of course always wants to sell new product. Sky Striker reprints are hella money for them, and one Engage wouldn't break the deck. It would give the pure variant some way of just, you know, getting engaged in the graveyard and recycling it, without it becoming too strong of an engine again, and without them just being able to recklessly revive the Engage or recycle it a couple times. And anyone could just TD Crow the Engage from the grave, so that's an additional risk they now have to deal with. I think 1 engage would be fine. Putting it at any higher than 1 is a big risk. But 1 engage, in my opinion, should not be problematic. It should be fair. I think it would be interesting for the game. Next one is Magical Meltdown. Invoked has a nerf coming from them for a long while now. They survived previous banlists for some reason, I don't know how. So Konami will pretend they actually care and do a soft hit, just a slap on the wrist, limit Magical Meltdown. Maybe it's a semi-limit and not a true limit. I don't know, I think it's a limit though. They won't butcher Invoked entirely, because soon they will have a garbage archetype coming out that gets hard carried by Invoked. And if they don't keep that archetype at a strong level, with Invoked, you know, being a thing, then that archetype will just not sell. So in order to sell Rise of the Duelist, they'll keep Invoked at a high level, at least somewhat hit it a little bit. So like, wait, what do you mean we don't care about the game? Here, we limit Magical Meltdown. We do care about problematic cards, well, and realistically not doing anything. Would be a very Konami thing to do. Next card I could see them limit, and no, I'm not joking, hear me out here, is Royal Oppression. What the hell are you saying? Royal Oppression? Yes, Royal Oppression. OCG is Vanity's Emptiness legal, so one of these cards being legal is not that impossible. And Royal Oppression is way more fair than Vanity's Emptiness. The issue with Vanity's Emptiness is that the controller can just shut it down in certain decks. I'm playing Metal Foes, I can just easily destroy one of my other spell traps. Well, actually that's the wrong deck to list here, because Metal Foes could also just pop their own Oppression. But yeah, there are plenty of decks that can just shut down their own Vanity's Emptiness whenever they want and start comboing again without ever suffering the consequences. At least Royal Oppression just keeps active and both players can use it, as long as it stays active on the field. It will limit special summon decks, they are now forced to run back row removal, which already are forced to do anyway with cards like Mystical Mine. I just think it's a way to control combo decks. Like, if you go second, you now need to have removal to keep the decks in check without, you know, being too much of a problem. I mean, it's just one copy. It exists, you now need to respect it, you need to run removal for Royal Oppression. I think it would be an interesting change to the meta. And Konami occasionally likes to remove power cards from the ban list. I don't see a reason why Royal Oppression wouldn't be the next one. The final limit I could see happen is Dengdong, first of the Yangzing. This is with the idea of Hulky Fibrax being banned, otherwise it's never happening. But people have been wanting this card back from the ban list for a long while. We already lost out on a level 5 Synchrotune with a great effect, so I could see them returning another one to the game. It's not really linked to any modern product release, but I just think it would make sense to return this card. Like, it's just not that powerful anymore. It will open the door to diverse decks in the meta. It will just diversify the game a bit, without being too broken. So that's why I could see it happen, but there's no guarantee or anything. I mean, it's Konami, still unpredictable, but if any card is to return from the ban list, on top of the other ones I mentioned, it's Dengdong. Now we will have 5 semi-limits. Now, a lot of people aren't fan of the semi-limits, and I don't really like them either, but for some cards it makes sense, just like the upcoming 5 cards. First one I could see the semi-limit is Parallel Exceed. This card is way too powerful to be a common. Konami is really greedy, so them not pumping it to a secret, in my eyes, is an obvious sign they're gonna hit it. It might sound weird to you, but if you don't think Parallel Exceed is worth of getting hit, you just don't know how powerful this card is. Read this card with Dugaris being a thing in mind. Basically, this is like Angel Baton in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. What is Angel Baton? You talked about this before. Angel Baton is a spell card that says, well, you need to have speed counters, so you need to remove them. Which is a thing in Turbo Dueling, another discussion for another time. Basically it says, draw 2 cards, discard 1. Dugaris is a rank 4 that does the same. What does Parallel Exceed give you? 1 free rank 4. So you get Dugaris. This card's insanely strong. That's why I could see them semi-limiting it, so you can still use it, it's just not as reliable. It would make sense, it's just such an overpowered strong card, and it being a common, I just don't buy it. I don't think Konami's generous to actually give us generic power for almost free. Next one I could see getting semi-limited is Salaman Great Gazelle. Salaman Great has been underperforming recently. Konami really tries hard to keep recent meta decks back in the game. That's why I could see Sullivan Great Gazelle just returning to 2 to be like, yeah, Sullivan Great, you're underperforming, here's a little bit of power back. Next one I could see happen to 2 is Scrap Recycler. 2 reasons. 1, the engine with scraps has been a bit problematic before. 2, they want to sell Dingirsu, and this way Orcus decks need to run Dingirsu, it's not optional, you need it. 2, Scrap Recycler is way too inconsistent, you want the 3, outside of possible scrap decks. No, in scraps I never really ran this myself, but maybe I'm just a bad scrap player, I don't know. Probably am. But yeah, I just don't see Scrap Recycler staying at 3 when they need to sell Dingirsu. Well, not Dingirsu actually. It's called Gearsu the Mech Knight Orcus something. It was Atrocity thing. Whatever, they just semi-limited to push product. That's what I think. Next up is Super Polymerization. Once again, keep certain decks in check. This is an unhealthy card that breaks boards without giving a chance to respond. Wait, but you can't respond to Dark Ruler no more. Well, yes you can, just run Son of Judgment. There's no way to respond to this card, and I think that's inherently a bad design mechanic. I have no idea how this card ever became unbanned, let alone at 3. Makes no sense. Konami, please do the right thing and semi-limit this. And I don't know, I don't think they're actively selling much fusion decks. I mean, yeah, they really desperately need to sell Rise of the Duelist, so keeping it at 3 to make sure Invoked is stronger, which makes somewhat sense, I guess. But even then, I don't know. And it even punishes fusion decks, because you can also just use this against fusion-based decks. I don't know, I'm just not a fan of this card in general. And yeah, I just don't see it being legal. Last semi-limited card I could see happen is Cursed Bamboo Sword. Now Konami likes to do random preventive hits against combo decks sometimes. And I could see them with the new upcoming Fire Ignoble Knights, whatever they're called, the Flame Noble Knights. With them getting support, I could see Konami being cautious and slightly hitting equip spells. Cursed Bamboo Sword to prevent weird Exodia decks. Stardust, that makes no sense. Yeah, it sounds out there, but I don't know, a part of me feels they will somehow hit equip spells. I don't think we will see a Phoenix Blade ban just yet. So that's why I could see this happening, to prevent certain draw strategies from coming just too oppressive. There will be no unlimits that I predict. I don't think we'll be getting any cards to 3. So there's going to be enough you disagree with, so leave the things you disagree with in the comments. And make sure to actually be positive in your comments, don't start posting hate comments because you disagree with a prediction list. I mean, that's just ridiculous, right? I'm just saying, hey, I think Konami will do this, and you might agree or disagree, but just hating on that, it makes no sense to me. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Stardust Studio signing out.